the beginning of the 3-week trip to Taiwan and Thailand. At LAX, preparing for the grueling 14-hour flight, departing at 12:40 a.m. I was impressed by Starlux Airlines. The food was tasty. This was the first time I saw a touch-sensitive variable window shade in a plane. The room at the Rido Hotel in Taipei was really quite lovely. It had a foyer that separated the bathroom and bedroom and even had a hot tub in the bathroom, which I used to unwind after the long trip. Finally, back in the streets of Taiwan. As I walked through Da'an Park, I ran across this tree rat. It was upset about something. If you like to try all kinds of food, especially street food, Taiwan may be for you. Shaved ice with mango is a must-have in Taiwan. Da'an Park is like Central Park in New York, only better. It is filled with the sights and sounds of birds and animals, bamboo bumping together in the tropical breezes, and a beautiful variety of vegetation. I wanted to be there day and night. It's always nice to see the Grand Hotel on the way to the airport. We stayed there once. After just a few days in Taiwan, we were off to Thailand. Thankfully, the rain cooperated the entire 3 weeks in Asia. When it did rain, it always rained when it really didn't matter. Nature was on our side. Our first meal in Thailand included sea bass. Just $4.50 for that dish. Pretty amazing. Just one night in Bangkok and then off to Phuket. It was dark when we arrived at the Chanalai Garden Resort, so we went out to eat and then explored a night market. It was food heaven, and the prices did not disappoint. The next morning, we woke up to this view from our room. And just like that, we were off to take a ferry to Phi Phi Island. I was relieved to find the cabin of the ferry air-conditioned. However, about 30 minutes into the 2-hour boat ride, the air conditioning broke down. The only way to tolerate the Southeast Asian heat was to head up to the upper deck. The Phi Phi Islands are an island group in Thailand between the large island of Phuket and the straits of the Malacca coast of Thailand. The Phi Phi Harbour View Hotel was cat-friendly. There were cats all over the place, but that wasn't its quintessential feature. This place was truly a slice of paradise. There was a long pool, accessible from the ground floor rooms, with an infinity pool overlooking the stunning shoreline. The saltwater pool was bathwater warm. The next morning, we had a wonderful buffet on the beach, which was included in the price of our room. It was time to leave Phi Phi Island. We wish we had stayed at least one more night. Our third night in the Phuket area was the Charm. Literally, the Charm Resort. This resort had a rooftop infinity pool and a private hot tub on the patio. We picked up some excellent street food to bring back to the room. Who doesn't love a nice beach? Gotta love that Southeast Asian sense of humor. And the nightlife. After a great last day in Phuket, we took a scenic trip back to the airport and would soon be back in Bangkok. We immediately left the Bangkok airport, headed to Pattaya to spend our last 2 days in Thailand. We arrived at the lovely Siam Bayshore resort. Pattaya Bay was the busiest bay I have ever seen. While we were exploring, a thunderstorm moved in. The lightning strikes were very close by. And it rained so hard, the street wound up with about 8 inches of standing water. In the evening, we had dinner at a seafood buffet. It's good we were walking so much each day. The desserts were not only pretty, but very tasty. We finally stayed in an area long enough to do some activities. We spent the day parasailing, jet skiing, and running around to scenic islands. Walking Street in Pattaya, where pretty much anything goes. Why do so many of these girls try to cover their faces? After the last fun-filled days in Thailand, it was time to fly back to Taiwan. The next great adventure was staying up in Dom Shrey, in New Taipei. It was a bonus to have the camera rolling when we passed the Grand Hotel. This place was spectacular. We stayed in the suite on the top floor of a friend's building, and it had a $1 million view. Breakfast was superb. Metro Taipei is such a convenient way to get around.
Your attention, please. Next train to Tamsui is arriving at platform 2.
This time we stayed in the K Hotel, right in the middle of a great night market. Enjoying the great outdoors the next morning. In Taichung, relatives and friends treated us to the best Japanese meals I've ever had. A little more exploring in Taichung, and then back to Taipei.
What you looking at?
Taipei 101 can be seen often, towering above the city. This was taken in complete darkness. More frolicking around Taipei before heading to one of my favorite places, before returning to the States. Of course, the place I was looking forward to is the Taipei Zoo. There is a gondola ride that is a whopping 2.5 miles long that brings you over the subtropical jungle and up to some tea houses. Too bad it was not windy, as the wind makes the vegetation more interesting. Right after our return, they shut it down due to a pending thunderstorm. soaking up my last day in Taiwan.